Hi, welcome to the Let's Talk Digital podcast, where tech meets real life. Here, we dissect the digital hustle from the classroom to the marketplace. I'm your host, Racheal Ewurabena Antwi, and today we are taking a deep dive into Ghana's tech story. Is digitalization saving lives, or is just changing vibes? From Maltese coding dreams to Ames mobile money Makola dreams, we bring you stories that hit close to home. So plug in, top up your data, and enjoy. Let me take you on a quick ride to Tamale. So picture this, 19-year-old Maltiti just finished senior high school. His dream is to be a software developer. But here's the twist. No Wi-Fi at home, patchy network, and a phone that loads slower than a Monday. Still, he walks 2 kilometers to reach a community ICT center. That's the hustle, that's digital determination. Now, in Accra with Amma, a market woman, she started using mobile money. No more lost coins or carrying wads of cash around, but she's also worried about fraud and scams. Each day she asks herself, is this digital life really, really safe? These stories tells us something, is that Ghana's digital train is moving, but it's not everyone that is in first class. So today, I have 3 amazing young people in the studios today to discuss the issues. So I have Fauzia Dut, James, and then I have Isaac Nyako. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
It's great to meet all of you again.
It's our pleasure to have you.
So a quick one. Which app have you used the most in recent times? Which mobile app have you used the most in recent time?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, likewise, WhatsApp, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Isaac?
same here.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yeah.
Okay. Why WhatsApp?
So for me, it's primarily because WhatsApp has become the main medium to connect with family and also work.
Okay.
So it's on a daily basis, checking in with different clients, checking in with colleagues and our other membership across the country. WhatsApp has become pivotal in ensuring that we can communicate and stay connected, and of course keeping in touch with family and bridging gaps as well.
Okay. Isaac, is it the same for you?
Yeah, so it's really not just one medium to communicate, but then currently we have organizations even using WhatsApp as the main medium, the platform to even discuss issues that relates to their work. Aside that, I use WhatsApp for business.
Okay.
So it is also an avenue for me to do my business, that is, do my retail business with people who may not be closer to me.
Oh, okay.
So to add on to what my colleagues have shared, it's same for me for communication. Aside that too, I understand that many individuals now use WhatsApp for advocating their, messages and what have you. So it's not just the communication, but also it's an avenue where many individuals, organizations, entities use as a channel to advocate. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that prior to the 2020, we had our elections in 2024, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so prior to the 2024 elections, I think one of the words that was very heavy in the air was digitalization.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say, I think that when it comes to that, a lot of people have different ways by which, they translate that. But what does digitalization mean to you?
In life, we all seek to be happy. We all seek comfort in life. And so for me, digitalization simply has to do with the use of or the bringing on board digital technology to enhance what we do, I mean, on a daily basis. And so for me, that is it. We all need to be happy. And so, I mean, if we should have things going so simple for all of us, you know, why not? So digital technology is now in to make life, you know, more comforting and simple for all of us. That's what I think, yeah.
Oh, okay. Comforting and simple.
Exactly.
We will circle back to those particular keywords again. James,
Yes, please.
digitalization, what does it mean to you?
So to piggyback off what Isaac said, I agree. I do think digitalization presents an opportunity for us to better enjoy our lives. But more importantly, I think it presents an opportunity to expand our freedoms and what we're able to do with our daily lives, how we're able to better enjoy our rights and also better defend them, to commune, to gather, to assemble through various ways as diverse as we are and as far apart as we are. Digitalization presents us that opportunity as another phase of modernization.
Okay, so we've talked about digitalization, and I want to find out, in the words of Isaac, who said it's supposed to make us safe,
Yeah, life comfortable.
life comfortable.
Yeah.
And have you ever had a situation where digitalization failed you? Like, have you used any app or anything that they were like, oh, okay, so this has gone digital, but then you used it or accessed the particular service and it failed you?
Okay, yes, I actually have had such an experience. This was, I think, in the early days when ride-hailing apps were common.
Oh.
And those of us who were yet to...
Ride-hailing apps, you
Yes.
mean Uber and Bolt?
Yes,
oh,
exactly,
okay.
yes, Uber and Bolt. But I think at the time it was just Uber, right?
Okay.
So there was a time where it became a fad. Everyone was rushing to get the new Uber app, get your discount so that you can, rush certain places. And as young and new to smartphones as I was, I had to spend some time maneuvering the app. Called my first ride thinking that I was going to apply my discounts to get a free ride, but it turns out the calculations and the ways in which the app counts the distance you go was not something I was privy to. So took the ride, made several stops, picked up a few friends along the way, ended up at our final spot, and the price was, as you can imagine, higher than we had expected. But I mean, it was part of the fact everybody wanted to be riding in one of the new Uber cars. But it was, that was, I think, an example of
I think I'm very
techno going my
interested in
way.
how you sorted that out.
Well, let's just say the driver, thankfully, was a much older individual, very sweet old man, very kind. He gave us a discount at his detriment because he realized we were young and we didn't know what we were doing, having tinkered with the app like that. But yeah, that was a very exciting day for me and my colleagues.
Wow. Fauzia.
Right. So, my guy, I had a terrible experience sometime, I think, early part this year in the month of January, where
Very recent.
very recent. So what happened was I was going to withdraw money to make payments. That was about 3,000 Ghana cedis. And I didn't check the code, the till number properly. So it was my mistake. And after I do also check the Momo vendor, usually they have this name.
Yeah.
And I also didn't check that. So because it was a place near home and I knew that, I know these people. So I just did the input, and then after a few minutes, I'm like, I've done it, my money. And the lady said, I haven't received any alert. And I'm like, my God. Then I have to now check the name, and I realized that it wasn't that enterprise. For a few minutes, I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to do. So I called Vodafone. And Vodafone, I don't know what happened. They were asking me so many questions. Now Telecel.
No, I think that's standard procedure.
Right. So at a moment, I'm like, why don't you just hold on to the money and then ask me these questions and then you can refund the money. But then why do you ask me you're asking me Ghana card and I'm telling you I have done a wrong transaction and you're asking for Ghana card. What happens if I don't have my Ghana card on me? So back and forth. I didn't get the money. I went to Telecel office and I made a complaint that, oh, this is what happened. Luckily for me, I got in touch with the manager and we were able to trace where the money had gotten to. So I did a transaction at East Legon and the mobile vendor who had received the money was at Kumasi. For a minute, I'm like, hey, Madam Els, let me call her to go and get my money for me. But then, of course, that wasn't the case. Due to technology, due to digitalization, we were able to get access to the information of the because it was just a few seconds, the money was withdrawn. And luckily for me, it was an agent who received the money. So we tracked and then by God's grace, we were able to get the money back. So although it was a terrible experience, in fact, I was hot, really hot. It was a huge sum of money. So I was really hot. And then we were able to track and then finally they refunded the money. So yeah, it's like we are discussing, it has its own positive, it has its own negative. I think I've shared both positive and then negative. So yeah, I think it's been of help and it has its own challenges as well.
Okay.
All right. So mine has to do. I'm not sure I'll be able to conclude. Because if I have to do that,
you
then
cannot tell us a story. You cannot tell us a
It
story
is
without
going to be a
concluding.
story you can easily conclude on. So this is where digitalization is supposed to make life simple for us. So I had this online interview, and then all was set. The date was known, time, check, and then I had my laptop in front of me, and then the interview had to start, and then the network was just gone. Please conclude the story for me.
We've all been there.
This is where it was expected that things were going to be comfortable, simple for me, because then I didn't know to walk all the way to the organization and then have my interview. Exactly. And then just when everything was ready, the network kept moving. It was just on and off, and eventually the organization, the panel, it was a full panel. And they were just seated just to have the interview go on. And so they got tired along the line and they had to call off the interview. What happened? I lost a job. I thought I was so qualified.
I was going to ask you if you got a second chance to do a do-over.
No, they said it was over. I think it was before Easter. And so they had the last day and then they were just supposed to just rounded everything up and then get people on board the project, and that was it for me.
Wow.
Oh, no.
You want to cry for me?
No. It's a sad one.
I am actually sad because I think that this happens very often. We like the idea that nowadays you don't really have to move all the way to a certain place. So for instance, now let's say I live in Tamale, and then there is a job application in Accra. For most organizations, it does not require that I travel all the way down to Accra. You can just do an online one. So we think that, so digitalization is making interviews much easier and all of that. But then network challenges come in. And this has cost a lot of people jobs and all of that. So that's the downside to it. But for me, I think one thing that I really, really, really like about digitalization is being able to renew national health insurance card online. I don't know if anybody has the experience back in the days where you have to go to the center to go and renew.
Queue for hours.
Queue for hours before you be able to do that. But now it's so easy with the app. You can just easily just renew for yourself, for a family member. And I think that is like something that is like really, really cool. So let's say it's the good side that I would actually very much like.
Also purchasing electricity as well.
There is that. In the middle of the night when your power just goes off. You can
That
just
feeling,
buy. You can just
yeah.
buy online. Yeah, I think that's also another part that we do not talk about a lot. But then also, I don't know whether you've been listening to happenings on social media, TikTok, Instagram, X, and all of that, and even Facebook. I think in recent times we have had way too many complaints about mobile money fraud. I saw one girl the other day talking about, losing 11,000. I saw another person also talking
Yes.
about
Losing
losing
about
this
10,000,
amount of
yeah.
money
Yeah.
and all of that. And we are thinking that, maybe with the mobile money and all of that here, we don't have to carry a lot of cash that makes you susceptible
Yeah.
to robbers. But if the money that we are also hiding from the robbers, somehow people are managing to get their hands on that particular money, then there is a lot of problems
Yeah.
with that. I don't know whether you've had anybody lose money around you before, like with mobile money, this mobile money fraudsters. Has anyone even called you before?
Well,
Yeah, let me let Fauzia start.
okay, so yes, I have had such an experience before, but then again, I am very careful with the information I give out. Usually when they call you, they want you to go ahead with certain proceedings like, your code, your mobile money PIN or the code. So when they ask you, you should be on guard that, hey, don't give it out. But sometimes a lot of people fall prey. They end up giving their number before they even it comes to their mind. It comes to their realization. Hey, did I just give my PIN out? And before you realize, it's gone.
But why? So we know that mobile money pins are supposed to be
Confidential.
confidential. Why does someone calling you and asking for your mobile? Is it because maybe probably in our daily lives it's so easy for us to give our mobile money pins to other people? Because sometimes for
So
me, I don't think that
you
I can
would-
get a call out of the blue and says mention your mobile money. I'm not even giving it to my siblings.
Right.
But-
For some people, for some individuals, they don't tell you to mention a number. They literally tell you, oh, I've sent you money. So check your account. So if you are also naive, you don't know what is happening. I think this happened to my dad. He
Sorry.
he literally went in to check, and then before he realized, everything was gone. So the moment they send you the fake SMS, whether from MTN, whether from Telecel or wherever, you are not supposed to follow the prompts. But as soon as you follow the prompt, they're able to get, I don't know how, but they get access to your PIN, and then they withdraw the money. I think that's how it works. That is what I can tell for now. I don't know if my colleagues may also have something to share.
So, I mean, I have a similar experience, but not directly related to mobile money. I'll come to the mobile money one later. But with this one, it was the WhatsApp takeover fraud scam, right?
Yeah.
So this number had managed to infiltrate a group I was in and was basically calling everyone to try and get them to override their two-factor authentication and then gain that person access into their account so that they lock you out. And then they take over your WhatsApp and they're able to send messages to your contacts and ask them for money, right? And the way he did it was by like agitating me. So I get the call and the person on the other end of the phone is like they are resetting WhatsApp or something because the group we're in has been infiltrated. Meanwhile, they are the infiltrator, right?
Yeah.
And they're speaking with such urgency that if you don't take your time and stay calm, you tend to end up following them through the processes because you get startled, right? And when money is involved, when you're afraid that your finances might be unsecure, you tend to move even more quickly. And I think that's what happened to your dad.
I think that is for those who actually have money.
I suppose. But either way, I mean, you want the accounts to be secure for you for when you need it to keep money or send money to others. Yeah, so getting that kind of call definitely puts you on edge. So I think the key thing is to stay calm when you are encountering people who are engaging on fraud via these platforms.
Because I think that's the key word. You need to stay calm. Because when I had this issue with my mobile money, the money that I transacted wrongly and all that, one of the things that I remember helped me most was I was calm. For me to even move from the mobile money agent to the office to file a complaint, Charlie, I was calm.
You handle it well. Because me, my first course of action, I would need to wail for 2 hours straight.
I was really calm.
I would need to wail for 2
Yeah,
hours straight
yeah,
before I can do
You
anything
think,
else.
yeah.
I mean, I'll be fine, but I need to cry first.
As you can imagine, losing
3,000.
thousands of cities.
3,000 Ghana cedis in this economy.
In this
If you don't know what 3,000 cedis is, like I think you should always try to convert it to the old currency to understand the magnitude of the
Better
money.
context.
So like 30 million. 30
million.
30 million. Nah, I'm going to cry. I cannot be cool-headed around that.
Right.
All right, so well, I have made it, clear to myself that, I will not entertain such calls. And so I've had similar calls. I even had one from EcoBank. In fact, I was almost strict, but it dawned back on me that this is me. I don't entertain such calls, so why am I entertaining it? So at a point, I just told the guy that, all right, guy, I'll just call EcoBank. I'll call my bank and then discuss it with all out. There is a bank. Luckily for me, I was very close to a banking hall, and so I just ended the call, went in there, and unfortunately, it was really somebody else. It was a scam. I almost gave in to that, but then I was fortunate, and so it didn't happen. But such calls are common now.
Yeah.
You have scammers calling in, and it's so beautiful how they get all details about you. This is technology. There has always been that, you may be here, somebody may be up there, and so there are levels in that. So it has, even I understand, well, if I'm allowed to mention the companies, MTN has been hacked recently, and so yes, and so people are having issues, a lot of issues with their mobile money. Yeah, so I went to withdraw my money recently from my Momo, so that I don't face any such challenge. But it is always like we just have to be on our guard so that we don't fall prey to someone's business.
And also, I think seeing the patterns in which the fraudsters usually contact people, the kinds of things they say,
James,
their demeanor.
they will always advance.
No, they are getting sophisticated by the day. They are.
From one level to the other. So
I think
so
we're used to the normal ones with
don't guess, for me,
you know who this is? This is from UK. Those types of
Now
those
they are
types of
getting
scams,
sophisticated by the day. I think that when you are trying to withdraw money, that is MTN mobile money. That's what I use, so that's what I'm familiar with. You have to allow cash out before you get the pop-up.
Yeah.
But now I don't know how they manage to bypass that particular thing. Sometimes you can just be seated and then you are getting a pop-up on your phone to input your PIN. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. I think that at first I thought that you could only do that if you allow cash out. I had a colleague get these pop-ups on the phone like consistently. People were trying to withdraw money and she gets a pop-up to input the password and then so that they can take the money. And that is scary. It used not to be like that a year or two ago, but now they're able to bypass the whole allow cash out thing, and then it just pops up on your phone. If you are not very fast, you see the pop up and you are thinking that you are probably the one sending money, and then you put in your password. So I think they are getting sophisticated by the day. But also, we've been talking about digitalization. In Ghana, do we think that everybody is on the same wavelength? Is everybody benefiting from digitalization the same way, or are there gaps?
For me, that is a big no. Even when it comes to the use of apps, some are knowledgeable. The knowledge level is different amongst different groups of people. If we come to the southern part of the country, I know you are from Tamale though. But then what we know is that, so let's not even talk about the capitals, like the regional capitals. But then when you go beyond the capitals, the knowledge level there is quite low when it comes to the use of certain apps. I understand, the advancement is ongoing. You find a lot of change going on. But then there are certain parts of the country that do not even experience good network. And so obviously it makes the use of digital services, digital apps quite difficult. The same way some people in the north will enjoy the use of those apps, given the down fiber optics here. Network services are quite good down here, but then elsewhere it might. So we cannot say that we are all enjoying it. We are all on the same pace or the same level when it comes to the use of digital platforms.
Yeah, I get the the network issues even in the capital cities. Even in the capital cities, they still have the same struggle. For instance, I know somebody that I don't want to mention his name. He lives in a city in the capital that I don't want to mention the name. When he's there, we cannot do Zoom calls. If he joins from that particular city, we cannot do Zoom calls. So he has been joining the office, our monthly Zoom calls in the office, because if he goes home, he cannot join. Wow. I mean, I didn't mention anybody's name, but I mean, yeah, Jim.
Particularly when it comes to access and understanding of the entire system, right? It's not everyone. Whilst others are thriving, others are also lacking. So, to me, it's a no, not everyone.
Yeah, I mean, if we are using multitude story as reference point, can we say that because of the digital divide, other people's dreams, people are not able to realize their dreams?
Absolutely. I would say it definitely limits aspirations. Yeah. And having access to the internet broadens it or widens it in a way that we've seen in other countries. So you can imagine just how far behind some people are being left as we're advancing exponentially.
Yeah, because we live in a country where people never see a computer.
Certain
a
parts
laptop,
certain parts of the country.
Absolutely nothing. But then they have to write ICT papers.
And also do practicals.
Yeah, and do practicals.
Makeshift ICT tools.
Where we've seen, there are so many videos circulating of teachers having to draw basically everything on the board. And
on a blackboard.
On a blackboard.
And explain functionality.
Emphasis on the blackboard. Yes. Yeah. Emphasis on the blackboard.
Because we're still there with the chalk.
And they have to explain all of the functionalities and all of that. And I think that is really, really sad. So for a young person that comes from a community where they did not have an ICT center, they do not have, they've never seen a real life computer or a laptop before, it puts you at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And if we are being really, really honest with ourselves, we are gradually getting to a point where you need basic digital navigation skills to be able to thrive in this country.
True.
Actually, I take it a step further and say we're getting to a point where you're going to need some more advanced or intermediate digital literacy skills to be able to better navigate the world we're in. I think we're going past the basic.
Exactly. So for instance, now you can actually shop online. And I'm talking about things that you get from the market. I'm not talking about Kellogg's and stuff. I'm talking about things that you get from the market. Tomatoes. People have shifted the whole market business to online. And they'll get you everything from okra, pepper, and everything. So, back in the days, they used to say, oh, and I say, when Suyandia and all of that, Obeton Niema or Jum. So say they're towing the Niema in the Jum cell. You would need ICT to be able to do that. So if we have people competing with others that are already, have access to all of these things, then I don't think that we can really bridge the poverty gap. Because somebody would have access to all of these ICT tools, be able to navigate it, then go and meet probably at the same school with somebody who has never really even seen a computer before. And it's happening. It's 2025 in Ghana, and there are communities that have never seen a laptop before. but these people are supposed to compete with people that have seen this, that have used it, that know how to navigate it. So what that means is that the cycle of poverty does not break for these people. So it is like the usual cliche, the rich getting richer. But it's not a cliche. It is actually
the
true.
truth.
It's just the rich will keep getting richer and the poor keeps getting poorer.
True.
Because we do not because of accessibility. That is like a huge problem in this country.
So no.
And do we even have ICT centers anymore?
That's a great question. I'm not, I mean, at least for communities, I'm not sure if that's a popular concept. We barely even have community libraries, so I can imagine ICT centers are not as accessible.
Isaac,
but then
you move around a lot. You engage a lot of communities. Do we have ICT centers still?
So at the community level, I don't think we really have. I've not really seen a very special place that is really put up as a an ICT center for a community.
Or digital literacy.
We have even
training.
lost the concept of libraries in our communities. It's unlike we used to have. There were community libraries. There were libraries set aside. I remember when we were kids, there was a library at Dansoman, Kifit. You could just go there and then just pick books and then read them. Now the library.
Dansoman, there's now a bougie. You know what Dansoman? Dansoman would
but then-
definitely have a library.
What I'm even trying to say now is that the place is no more. It doesn't exist anymore. It is now a place adults go and have fun and drink around. You understand? So it is not something that. But I know that there are several attempts to set up ICT centers in school because of probably the ICT as being a course that has to be undertaken in the school. But at the community level, we don't have. If we have, then probably they are not as many as we need to have. And so. Well,
So what of even the school level?
Okay, so let me speak on the community. So I know of a community actually that a single man, like single-handedly, has built
And donated,
ICT.
right?
No, he's running it as an NGO, literally. So he opens it up for young people between the ages of 6 years to 10. Then, so they come in different badges. Then 10 to 15, then upwards. Every Saturday and then Sunday, he teaches them coding. He's into IT, so you go there and he's all over the place teaching these young ones how to code and all that. But this is somewhat, I'll say it is his project that he's doing for the community.
Yeah, I mean, I think for private businessmen, these things are there. But I'm thinking of government-funded ICT centers.
I haven't seen one yet. Maybe we will soon develop, but I haven't seen one
We
yet.
are even struggling with what has to be in the schools.
No, so back to even the private centers, private ICT centers. Is internet cafe, is it still a thing?
It is.
It is.
Internet cafes
It
are still very much a thing. Yeah.
It is.
Oh, really?
But is it really popular now?
I think depending on certain demographics, they're still popular. So those that don't have direct access to computers still rely on.
I'm asking
ICT
because,
centers.
like back in the day, we had ICT internet cafes littered across like everywhere.
Everywhere,
Like you pass this corner, there is an. I remember very very well. I used to frequent the internet
Cafes as well, yeah.
cafes a lot. I think that's why I created my first Facebook account and all of
Or
that.
high five accounts.
Yeah, I have very fond memories of frequenting the internet cafes because every corner you could find one, buy time and then go. But right now I do not even see those ones at all. And it's worrying because I feel like back then, if you did not have access to a computer in your home, at least you could go to the internet cafe and learn on your own, or someone could help you navigate it and all of that. But even that is no longer there. I don't know.
I see
I don't
a
know.
few.
I do not
I
see,
see-
but
I see a few, but
Okay.
I understand
Yeah.
they're not as popular
Yeah.
as they were. I guess because more people can access
Exactly,
laptops,
exactly,
but there
yeah.
still will be a small fraction of people who won't know anyone who has a laptop when they need to print something or type an email or something like that, and they will rely on the few cafes that are still around.
True, and most importantly, the cafes usually get busy because of printouts. You know,
Yes,
a lot
yeah.
of people would have their documents already done, and they go to the cafe, oh, can you please print it out for me? Especially on campuses. When you go to UG, when you go to, the various universities, a lot of students have their own laptops, so they do their work and they want to just print out. So you find it's hard. It's difficult to find someone moving from his or her hostel or home to say that I'm going to the cafe to sit and literally type out my project work or do my assignment, right? But for the aged and for other few individuals who may not have laptops, they would work in and then ask for maybe assistance to even draft a letter. So it is there, but it's not scattered around like before, to me.
Yeah, so I think it has to do more with access. You know, now the cafe it's with us in our homes. You know, we
On our
have
phone,
we have our
exactly.
smartphones all around us. So if we have access to the internet, we just wouldn't need for those who are running the business cafes, it was business for them. And so I mean, in every business, you need to do your assessment. If patronage is low, you just you don't want to put money where you won't yield anything back. So access was, I think, basically the reason why we were accessing the cafes. Now that we have the cafes with us, it might not be necessary to go to any building called cafe.
When you say now that we have, I think that we are not acknowledging our privilege.
Absolutely. I agree.
I think we come from homes where maybe phones are accessible and the laptops are accessible, but there are still very much a lot of people
Yeah,
who do not have
that is
smartphones.
true. Yeah.
So I think that maybe we can look at bringing back these things. But still on this conversation, so what do you think that we can do to make digitalization accessible? Like solutions beyond our privilege, solutions that we have to, think about for the average person.
Well, I think the first thing would be getting the duty bearers to acknowledge the problem with the multiple divides that we have in terms of access to the internet and digital skills and literacy. Donor and development partner support in this area would also be will be very welcome, especially in establishing things like ICT centers within communities as third spaces. I think the availability of the infrastructure, the spaces for learning, the materials for learning, and the digital literacy training, also coupled with human rights education training, I think would greatly help us address the issues with digitalization or access to digitalization for everyone in the country.
Okay, so to throw more light on what my colleague just said, beyond the infrastructure, beyond the spaces and all that, digital literacy to me is the most important thing, because you can have the devices and yet not know how to navigate. You can have the devices and be scammed. You can have the devices and things will happen to you, right? Recently, I had a program and I got a message from a lecturer. And when the message came, I was like, why would Doc send me a message on Telegram? Is he trying to be fishy? I was like, oh, let me just respect and then go and see what's there. Hey, apparently the man has been scammed and the link was something else. Immediately, I was like, what am I doing here? I had to now log out from that site and then, do whatever I had to do and then have my peace of mind. But now the question is, if someone somewhere in Tamale, somewhere in Kumasi, somewhere in the rural area, doesn't know how to navigate around what I experienced, what will the person do? Because they have your data, they have maybe your full name, they have maybe your mobile phone number. What do you do? Because it's a point you get to that point where you are, do I use the word astonished, you're surprised, like you don't know what to do, you're overwhelmed. And a lot of things can happen in that state. In fact, your mind cry won't be stable. So I think that beyond all that, we need to educate our young people, the aged people who, if you ask me to do two-step verification, maybe I can do it. How about my mother somewhere? How about my uncle? How about my father somewhere? If they can't, that means they are going to be scammed, or their system is going to be what happens to them, basically.
Yeah.
So the literacy, to me, is the most important thing.
All right.
Yeah,
Isaac,
so just
bring it home
to
for us.
to leverage what I think they've said a lot, but there are still people who, for the fear of being scammed, may not even be interested in using certain apps.
True.
And so for me, I think it has more to do with the security they will have in using apps. And so, like James said, policies, will have to be enforced. Policymakers will have to look at that aspect. So if I have to be scammed, online, what do I do? If I have to report to the police, what happens beyond reporting to the police? I mean, who are interested in issues of cyber crimes? And so that is also one thing. People will have issues, and I think it will be more interesting. It will bring more people on board using digital platform, or accessing digital platforms if they feel secured.
Yeah.
And so that is one thing. I think we should also localize whatever we have as digitalization. We shouldn't just pick it and then dump it here. And so if it is not in our local context, using it might not even be as friendly as it might be expected. So if if we are able to localize it, and it has to be, some apps will have to be in Twi or in my local dialect, then that will make it more comfortable to use, and it makes it better to digitalize.
For lack of a better term.
Okay, so whether you are Multi-T dreaming of Silicon Valley, or you are Amma trying to protect your Momo, digitalization is here to stay, and Ghana is riding the wave. So, but we all deserve a very inclusive and safe ride. So until we come your way another time, this has been the Let's Talk Digital podcast. See you another time.